1 in billions. That is the chance Elon Musk gives that you are living in base reality right now. Oxford philosopher Nick Bostrom did the cold math in 2003. A Portsmouth physicist published a peer-reviewed paper in 2022 arguing the universe behaves like compressed code. Researchers in British Columbia tried to mathematically debunk the entire idea in October 2025. 7 specific glitches sit between them. Memories millions of strangers share. Particles that change the second you watch them. A speed limit that looks suspiciously like a frame rate. Here is the setup. In 2003, Oxford philosopher Nick Bostrom published a paper called The Simulation Argument. The logic is brutal. If any future civilization ever reaches the technology to run conscious simulations, it will run millions of them. Real ancestors, billions. Simulated ancestors, trillions. Statistically, almost every conscious being would be code, not flesh. Bostrom himself puts the odds below 50%. Elon Musk does not. In a 2016 interview at the Code Conference, Musk said the chance we are in base reality is, quote, 1 in billions. That single sentence relaunched the entire debate. His reasoning is simple. Pong came out in 1972. 2 paddles, 1 white dot. 50 years later, we have photorealistic VR, AI-generated worlds, and characters that pass for human on a video call. Push that curve 1,000 years forward, or 1,000,000. Indistinguishable. And once the simulations are perfect, you can spin up billions of them on a single server farm. So if even one advanced civilization in the cosmos got there, the math says simulated minds outnumber biological ones by a ratio nobody can reasonably explain away. That is the foundation of every other glitch we are about to walk through. Glitch number 1. The Mandela Effect. In 2009, paranormal researcher Fiona Broom claimed she vividly remembered Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s. Then she discovered thousands of strangers online remembered the exact same thing. The historical record is clear. Mandela actually walked out of prison in 1990 and died a free man in 2013. So why did so many of us misremember the same impossible event with the same precise detail? Social conformity bias is the science answer. A patch update to the simulation is the spicy answer, and the examples do not stop with Mandela. The Berenstain Bears. Hundreds of millions of people swear it was spelled Berenstain with an E-I-N. It never was. The Monopoly man with a monocle on his face. He never had one. The Kit Kat logo with a hyphen between kit and cat. No hyphen. Ever. C. 3PO from Star Wars in solid gold. Look closely. He has one silver leg most fans never noticed. These are not obscure details. These are pieces of shared cultural memory across generations and continents. Glitches in the Matrix, or evidence of how breathtakingly unreliable the human brain actually is. Glitch number 2. Déjà vu. Roughly 2/3 of people report it at least once in their lifetime. That sudden lightning strike feeling that you have lived this exact moment before. Same room. Same words, same angle of afternoon light through the window. Neuroscientists call it a memory misfire in the medial temporal lobe of the brain. But in the Matrix, Neo sees the same black cat walk past a doorway twice, and Trinity tells him, quote, a déjà vu is usually a glitch in the Matrix. It happens when they change something. That single line of dialogue rewired how an entire generation thinks about reality. Glitch number 3. The double slit experiment. Fire electrons through 2 slits one at a time and they form a wave interference pattern on the wall, as if each particle somehow interfered with itself. Now place a detector at the slits to watch which one each electron actually passes through. The wave collapses. The electrons start behaving like normal particles, no interference. The universe acts differently when it is being measured. Mainstream physics says it is decoherence from the measurement device. The simulation crowd says it is your video game culling pixels you are not actively looking at right now. That second interpretation is not just internet meme physics. Modern video games use a technique called occlusion culling. The engine refuses to render anything the player cannot directly see because rendering everything would instantly crush the processor. If our universe ran on hardware, you would expect exactly this kind of behavior. Render what is observed in full detail. Leave unobserved particles in a fuzzy probability cloud until someone actually checks. The most accurate scientific theory in human history, quantum mechanics, fits that description almost word for word. Coincidence or compiler optimization at cosmic scale. Glitch number 4. The Planck length. Physicists calculate the smallest meaningful distance in our universe as roughly 1.6 times 10 to the minus 35 meters. Below that, the math of space itself breaks down completely. There is also a Planck time, around 10 to the minus 44 seconds, the smallest possible tick of the cosmic clock. Serious physicists caution that this does not literally prove reality is pixelated, but the parallel is haunting. Every digital image has a pixel size. Every simulation has a frame rate. Our universe appears to have both, baked in at the deepest level we can probe. Glitch number 5. The cosmic speed limit. Nothing carrying information can travel faster than 299,792 kilometers per second. The speed of light. Einstein nailed it more than a century ago, and no experiment has ever broken it. But ask yourself a strange question. Why is there a maximum at all? In every video game ever built, there is a hard cap on how fast objects can update per frame. Push beyond it, and your CPU melts. A speed of light is exactly what you would hard code if you needed to keep an enormous simulation stable across an entire universe of moving parts. Glitch number 6. Quantum entanglement. Two particles, separated by an entire galaxy, can share a state so tightly that measuring one instantly determines the other. Einstein hated it. He called it, quote, spooky action at a distance. The 2022 Nobel Prize in Physics confirmed it experimentally and gave the field its biggest stamp of approval yet. From a programming standpoint, this is bizarre in our universe, but trivial in a simulation. Two entangled particles are just two variables sharing the same pointer in memory. Update 1. The other updates. No travel time required, because no physical travel ever happened. Glitch number 7. The strangest one and the freshest. In 2022 and 2023, Melvin Vopson, an associate professor of physics at the University of Portsmouth, proposed what he calls the second law of infodynamics. Standard thermodynamics says entropy or disorder always increases over time. Vopson studied genetic mutations, atomic structures, mathematical symmetries, and digital systems, and found that information entropy does the opposite. It either stays flat or actively decreases. The universe seems to be quietly compressing its own data, the way a computer optimizes its code overnight to save precious storage space. Vopson goes even further. He argues information itself may be a fifth form of matter, with a tiny but theoretically detectable mass. He published this in AIP Advances, a peer-reviewed journal, not a YouTube comment section. His direct conclusion, quote, the entire universe appears to be a simulated construct. If he is right, every photon and every electron is carrying a hidden invoice in bits, and someone, somewhere, is paying the storage bill. We are not just trapped inside the simulation. We are the bandwidth that the simulation is straining to render in real time, all day, every day. But before you start screaming at the sky, hear the other side. In October 2025, researchers at the University of British Columbia, Okanagan, published a mathematical paper claiming to debunk the entire simulation idea. Using Kurt Gödel's incompleteness theorem from 1931, they argued that the deepest layer of physical reality requires what they call non-algorithmic understanding, translation. There are truths the universe somehow knows that no computer program could ever reproduce, no matter how powerful. If their proof holds up under scrutiny, no machine, no matter how advanced, could ever simulate a real conscious universe. There is also the energy problem. To perfectly simulate even one planet down to every single atom, you would need to convert the mass of an entire globular star cluster into pure computation. To simulate a galaxy, the math gets dramatically worse. To simulate the entire observable universe in full detail, you would need more energy than the observable universe actually contains, which means either the simulation is faking the parts no one is watching, or it is not running at the resolution we instinctively assume, or it does not exist at all. None of those options are comforting. So, who is right? The skeptics have peer review, clean math, and the laws of thermodynamics. The believers have 7 uncomfortable patterns: a bounded minimum length below which space breaks, a bounded maximum speed nothing can cross, articles that visibly change when you watch them, memories that millions of strangers share but the historical record flatly denies, instantaneous spooky links between distant atoms, a universe that quietly compresses its own information against the laws of entropy, and the bare statistical weight of Bostrom's original argument, which has never actually been disproved, only debated for 2 decades. Here is the part nobody really wants to say out loud. It might not actually matter. Even if every glitch is real, even if some hyper-intelligent species in a cosmic basement is running our reality on a server, your coffee still tastes like coffee. Your friends still laugh at your jokes. The grief you felt last year still hurt and shaped you. Australian philosopher David Chalmers has argued at length that a perfect simulation is not a fake reality. It is a real reality with a different substrate. The character on the screen is no less alive to itself. But the implications still cut deep. If we are simulated, who built it? Future humans running ancestor experiments to study how we made our worst climate and AI mistakes? An alien civilization farming raw consciousness for data? Or something stranger still? A bored teenager at a console we cannot even imagine, idly running a game called Earth on a rainy afternoon. Sam Altman of OpenAI has openly speculated about this exact possibility on multiple podcasts. So have respected physicists, philosophers, and theologians. Nobody has a serious answer yet. And every year, as AI worlds grow more realistic, the question stops feeling like science fiction. Look at where we already are right now in 2026. Generative AI can produce video clips of people that never existed. Game engines render entire detailed planets in real time on a laptop. Brain-computer interfaces are quietly pulling raw thoughts into pixels on a screen. In a single human lifetime, we went from Pong to entire generated cities you can walk through with a headset on your face. Now extrapolate that arc by another 200 years, or 2,000. The simulation we might one day build for our descendants would be indistinguishable from this one, which is exactly what Musk has been saying since 2016. So when you walk outside tonight and look up at the stars, ask yourself something honest. Are those galaxies real fusion reactors, burning hydrogen across billions of light-years of cold empty space? Or are they textured dots, rendered in just enough detail to convince a curious creature on a small blue planet that the universe is far too vast and far too expensive ever to be fake? Both options are terrifying in their own way. Both options are beautiful. The hardest truth is that with current science, we genuinely cannot tell the difference. And maybe we never will. Here is your question. Tell me in the comments below. If a researcher proved tomorrow with airtight evidence that this reality is in fact a simulation, would you keep living the exact same life you live today, or would you change everything overnight? Be brutally honest with yourself. And if you have ever experienced your own personal glitch, a Mandela memory, a déjà vu so sharp it actually scared you, a coincidence too perfect to be random chance, drop the story below. I will read every single reply. Because if we really are in the Matrix, the comment section might be where the cracks finally show first. Hope you got something out of this. Hit subscribe for more in this lane, and we'll see you in the next one.